Ma'am, Tanupreet is first one.
Ma'am, yes, ma'am. Hello, everybody. I am Pratik Nayak of class 10B. On the behalf of Book Talk, I am going to show you all a brief introduction to the secret through a very short PPT, keeping in mind the time limit. So let's start. Ma'am, is this visible? So, so here's the book, The Secret. So first, we start with about the author. The author of this book is Rhonda Byrne. She was born on 26th August 1945 on Melbourne, Australia. Her occupation, she was a writer and a producer. So let's start. So in this book, we learned a secret. So what is that secret? So the secret is our mind or human mind is a transmitter or rather powerful transmitter. It not only transmits rays, both positive and non-negative, but also attract like. So, whenever we think about good things, they certainly come to us readily as compared to the negative things that take more time to actually happen. So, dear friend, think positively. So, what is the secret? The secret that is being talked and rather explained or justified about is the law of attraction that governs the universe. According to this law, like attracts like. That is, broadly, nothing comes arbitrarily in our life. Broadly speaking, the book explains how what we think, speak, and listen comes to us. It also proves these theories scientifically, which otherwise are conceived as mere illusions. So, why do we accept the secret? Although there is a legion of reasons to accept the secret, I want to especially mention some famous personality that applied the secret into their lives. They are Ralph Waldo Emerson, Albert Einstein, Leo Tolstoy, Mahatma Gandhi, and Newton itself. Among others, the success stories of these people should attempt to break the glass ceiling of hopelessness and disappear and illuminate in your mind the wisdom of the secret. And now we discuss a beginner's guide to the secret. First is think. Think about some good thing happening to you. Hold that thought tenaciously, not let your mind question that thought. Assume that all those things have really happened. Believe. Think about that dream which you want to come true. Affirm as many times as you can and think positive and joyous about it. And the third and last one is receive. Now that you have asked to the cosmic universe what you want and have started believing it, it's time to be on the receiving end. So, thank you everybody. And now I invite Mr. Pratik Kumar.
मैम प्रथम कुमार। मैम विदिशा।
May I start? Hello everyone, I am Diya of KV2 DMW Patiala. On the behalf of Book Talk, I am going to present a book, The Alchemist. Ma'am, now it is visible. Hello everyone, I am Diya of KV2 DMW Patiala. Today I am going, on the behalf of Book Talk, I am going to present the book Alchemist. With very short PPTs, we will know about this book. Ma'am, is it visible? Book The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. Yes, ma'am. Now,
नो बेटा, आप सिर्फ आपका फेस आ रहा है. कैमरा इज ऑन यू. दिया वहाँ पे ऑप्शन होगा. आप लैपटॉप पे काम कर रहे हो बेटा? या
yes, ma'am.
या वहाँ पे प्रेजेंट नाउ करो.
Yeah, ma'am.
बट ये हो नहीं रहा. क्रोम टैब पे खोला हुआ है. किस पे खोला हुआ है आपने? वो जो टैब है उस पे क्लिक करो. हाँ, उसको सेलेक्ट करो.
हम कर
मैम
दिया.
बट प्रेजेंट
हमें शो हो रहा है.
मुझे नहीं हो रहा
हम
बेटा.
शो हो रहा है.
मैम वी आर एबल टू सी।
Should I start?
या स्टार्ट.
So, the book, The Alchemist.
Ma'am, I am the fourth.
Book The Alchemist
One.
by author Paulo Coelho. So, in this book, The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho is a wonderful story about an inspiring journey towards self-discovery and is an excellent combination of mysticism and wisdom. This story outlines the journey of a young shepherd boy from the Spain whose name is Santiago. He keeps getting the dreams about the treasure that are lying in the pyramids of Egypt. He embarks on a journey to follow his dreams after meeting an old king who offers him magic stones and advice. Santiago crosses the Mediterranean and Sahara to find his treasure in Egypt. Also, he accomplishes his legend, which is his purpose in life. The book details his journey and the various encounters that he experiences when following his dreams. Throughout the journey, Santiago met many new people and a lot of difficulty, which ultimately helps him to learn and grow the entire way. Overall, in this book, I have studied that this book encourages each of us to listen to our hearts, recognizes our unique opportunities in life, and pursue our passion. Thank you.
वेल डन
Now
दिया.
I would like to invite Vidisha.
Ma'am,
यस बेटा. प्रथम.
ma'am, I am the fourth one.
या आप बेटा उस टाइम थे नहीं. दैट्स व्हाई मैंने दिया को बोला. प्रथम विल स्टार्ट.
Okay, ma'am. A very well good afternoon
First,
to my
show me your
principal
face.
sir, teachers, and my dear friends.
प्रथम, show me your face.
A very well good afternoon to my principal sir, teachers, and my dear friends. Today I am Pratham Kumar from class 10C. I am going to express my views on my favorite book, How to Stop Worrying and Start Thinking. So on behalf of Reading Week, I am going to present Book Talk. So that was my book, How to Stop Worrying and Start Living by Dale Carnegie. So on that book, we are talking about how to stop worrying and start living. So when I was looking for a book related to our monthly theme of happiness, I found a book by Dale Carnegie entitled How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. So on that book, we are discussing inside how to stop worrying and start living. The book is divided into 8 parts with several chapters in each. I can't cover all those chapters in this review, so I will just write some that particularly resonate with me. So, part 1 of that book was shows is live in day-night compartment. Often, we worry because we take the burden of both the past and the future with us today. That makes the situation look much more difficult. What we should do is to focus just on today. The part 2 of that book said how to analyze and solve worry problems. To overcome worrying, you should know how to analyze and solve worry problems. You can't do that by finding and collecting all the facts, analyzing those facts, making a decision and act on it. The tip is good because we usually worry about something we are uncertain about. Once we get everything clear, we can see we should do about it. So part 3 of this book was said how to break the worry habitat before it breaks you. So on that topic, we are discussing how to crowd worry out of our mind. There is one simple way to crowd worry out of our mind. Make yourself busy. When our mind is occupied with work, we won't have time to worry. I think it applies not only to worry, but to all kinds of negative thoughts. As well, they will greatly decrease their influence if we are busy doing something constructive. So, the next part of the book shows 7 ways to cultivate a mental attitude that will bring your peace and happiness. So, on the topic, we should know about that. What do you take $1 million for what you have? If we want to be happy, we should focus on 90% things that work well in our life and forget the 10% that don't. On the contrary, if we want to worry, we should focus on the 10% that don't work well and forget the 90% that work. Which one do you choose? On that book, the part 5 said, the perfect way to conquer worry. How my mother and father conquered worry. You can find strength in spirituality to overcome worry, even for seemingly unsurmountable problems. Renji said the spirituality is the perfect way to overcome worry, and I agree with him. So, the part 6 of this book said how to keep from worrying about criticism. Do your work as good as possible and then open your umbrella so the rain of criticism wouldn't touch you. I love it. I should worry not about what other people say, but about whether or not I've done my best. Once I've done my best, I can't be happy no matter what people say. The second thing was cool things I have done. One of the best teachers is your own experience. You can learn from it by taking notes of the cool things you have done and criticize yourself. If you constantly do this, you will constantly improve yourself. The part 7 of this book says 6 ways to prevent fatigue and worry and keep your energy and spirits high. How to add 1 hour a day to your working life. That was the thing on that part 7 was says on that book was while it may seem counterintuitive, one of the best ways to increase your productivity is to add 1 hour a day to your working life.
Pratham, have you finished?
Every day boosting your productivity to take rest regularly. The take rest before you feel tired. During this time, simple said how I conquered worry. This part contains many stories of individuals who applied the principles outlined in the previous parts. There are also some new tips that haven't been covered before. One of them is reading history. Reading history helps you get wider perspective of the world so that you can see how small your problem actually is. Thanks for being with me. Now I'm going to my dear friend.
Pratham, have you finished?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Now I'm going to my dear friend Ishpreet Kaur from class 10th.
Okay, Shpreet.
Good afternoon, everyone. Uh, Good afternoon, everyone. I am Ishprit Kaur, Class 10C. On the behalf of Book Week, I am going to present book talk on the famous book named The Power of Habits. Ma'am, is it visible?
Yes.
The Power of Habits. Author Charles Duhigg. The title of this book is The Power of Habits, written by Charles Duhigg. Why we do what we do in life and business. This is the author of the book, The Power of Habits. 40 to 45% of the decisions we make each day are actually habits, not really decisions. And that's a good thing because otherwise we would be able to get anything done in a day. The habit loops, and easy until you try and change it. Three-part process. There's a CUE, which is kind of trigger for an automatic behavior to start unfolding. I am hungry. There, their routine, which is behavior itself, open fridge door. And then there's a reward which tell our brain whether we should store these habits for use or not. Yummy leftovers. During an NPR interview, a toothpaste story about 100 years ago, no one in America brushed his or her teeth. Claude C. Hawkins, an advertising access changed that Claude C. Hawkins has made his name creating habits around products and making them famous to his face. The CUE Hawkins had used to sell his toothpaste was the finally filmy plaque that form naturally on the teeth. Get rid of that film. Pepsodent gives you a beautiful smile. People got into your habits. The final step, a reward was needed in this case. It was the tingling, clean feeling you get after brushing your teeth. During an NPR interview, the author gives a corporate example. In the book, we tell the story of Paul O'Neill, the CEO of Alca, the largest aluminium company in America and in the world. That's all I am going to focus on is just transforming our workers' safety habits because he knew that if he could do that, it would set off a chain reaction that would change the culture throughout the company. Next step, identify your routines, experiments with rewards, isolate the CUE, have a plan. Thank you and have a nice day.
Valden is Ishpreet. Okay, who is the next one?
Now, now book Now the book talk by Sumir Singh.
A very good afternoon, everybody. Myself Sumer Singh, and on behalf of Reading Week, today I will be presenting a book talk on the book Titus Andronicus.
Show
Titus
me.
Andronicus is actually the script of a play written
Some
by William Shakespeare.
Samar, show
Now,
me your
I don't
face.
think there is.
Open your camera.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Open your camera. I can't see you.
Ma'am, that will not be possible. I'm on a PC actually, and
Okay.
it doesn't have a face cam.
Okay.
I hope you can overlook that.
Okay, start.
Okay, so the book I will be talking about is Titus Andronicus. It is written by William Shakespeare. I don't think there is much I need to talk about him. He's a very world-renowned writer, poet, philosopher, etc. So I'll skip that. Titus Andronicus. It is said to be one of his most violent plays. Now on your screens, it is said to be one of his most violent plays. Now, on your screens, I'll be showing you the first page of the very original script of the play. It is said to be one of his most violent plays ever to exist. It is written in the year from between 1588 to 1593. The genre, it is a tragedy and a revenge story. And the theme is pretty dark. Some very violent and dark topics such as adultery, murder, and power struggle, having children as collateral, etc., are discussed in it. The protagonist, it's not very clear who the protagonist is. We'll go with Titus Andronicus since that is the name of the book, but there are many characters who can be termed as one. And the antagonist, well, there are also a lot of antagonists. We'll go with Tamara. The book is written in classical English. It is writing style of William Shakespeare. A very metaphorical book, very poetic lines and the such. There are many Babylonian and Roman Puritan church and such examples of all those things. And it's a very dark theme and theme story like that. And I wouldn't recommend it for anyone who gets easily disturbed by some violence and stuff because it has a lot of it. It even involves some cannibalism. But nonetheless, it's a very great revenge story. I give it a really solid 4 out of 5 stars. Would recommend it if you don't get disturbed easily. Thank you. Now, does anyone have any questions?
Anyone have any question?
None?
Ma'am.
I'll be letting Prakash take over then. Thank you.
Okay. Who is the next?
Ma'am,
Okay.
good afternoon, all of you. I am Prakash of class 10C. On the behalf of Reading Week, I am here to represent a book, The Light of Truth. The Light of Truth, the Satyarth Manan Saraswati. This book was published. Read this book. Then the second edition of this book was published in many languages so that it could be very easy. This book is divided into 14 chapters, while the second remaining 4 form the second part. But the last 2 chapters and a statement of my beliefs were through same cause left out in the first edition and have been incorporated into this edition. About the book. Indeed, an encyclopedia of the various contemporary social, religious, and political currents, cross currents, and movement going on at the time of the writer's life. To go it further, the writer has not spared, which has polluted the human mind and deteriorated the man's quest for true knowledge and right way of life. Contents of this book. Chapter 1st is Home and the Other Names of God. Chapter 2nd treats of the upbringing of children. Chapter 3rd treats of brahmacharya and due disqualification of scholars and teachers, good and bad books and the scheme of studies. Chapter 4 treats of marriage and married life. Chapter 5 treats of Vanprastha and Sannyas Ashram. Chapter 6 Traits of Raj Dharma. Chapter 7, Traits of Veda and God. Chapter 8, Traits of Creation, Sustenance, and Emancipation and Bondage. Chapter 9, Traits of Knowledge and Ignorance and Emancipation and Bondage. Chapter 10, Traits of Conduct, Desirable and Undesirable, and of Diet Permissible and Forbidden. Chapter 11 contains a criticism of the various religions and creeds and sects prevailing in India. Chapter 12 treats of Charvak, Buddha, and Jain religions. Chapter 13 treats of Christianity, and Chapter 14 treats of Mohammedanism. About the author, Dhyanand Saraswati was an Indian philosopher, social leader, and founder of the Arya Samaj, a reform movement of the Vedic Dharma. He was the first to give the call for Swaraj as India for Indians in 1876, a call later taken up by Lokmanya Tilak. He born on 12 Feb 1824 at the village Tankara, Gujarat. His guru was Virjanand Dandi Shah. His literary works that he wrote many books, mainly Pratyas Prakash in 1875 and Rig Vedadi Bhashya Bhumika. He was the founder of Arya Samaj. He died on 30th October 1883, Ajmer, Rajasthan. Message of this book. The message from this book is to unfold the truth, as the expounded truth as truth and error as error. The exposition of error in place of truth and of the truth in place of error does not constitute unfolding of truth. The aim of this book is to further the advancement and advance the well-being to help all humankind in the attainment of what is right and to enable them to accept truth and reject falsehood. Thank you.
Very, very good. Okay, who is the next?
Now Muskan will present her book.
Okay, who is the next one?
Muskan.
Muskan. Okay, next. After Muskan. Okay, बेटा next किसकी बारी है अब?
Ma'am, it's Aman Kumar Sharma.
Let me start.
Yes.
A very good afternoon to one and all present here. Respected principal sir, my teachers and my dear friends. Today, I Aman Kumar Sharma present in front of you to do a book talk on a book named Jeetna Hai To Zid Karo. It is a Hindi motivational book. So let me start my presentation. Ma'am, is it visible?
Yes.
First of all, you all are welcome here. So the book I will talk about is this, named Jeetna Hai To Zid Karo, written by S. Hundiwala. Some details about this book are, this book is available in Hindi language. This is a motivational book. The author of this book is S. Hundiwala. This book is published by the Arihant publication. This book is really helpful for personality development. So I want to tell you about the book and that what the author has said in this book. So I would like to tell you about this in Hindi language. इस पुस्तक में लेखक ने कहा है, प्रत्येक व्यक्ति जीवन में सफल होना चाहता है एवं श्रेष्ठतम जीवन जीना चाहता है। सफलता व्यक्ति की सोच में होती है। बिना उचित मार्गदर्शन के व्यक्ति सुषुप्त अवस्था में रहता है। यह एक अनूठी एवं शानदार पुस्तक है जो आपको जीवन में सफल होने हेतु मार्गदर्शन करती है इस पुस्तक में सफलता प्राप्ति हेतु विभिन्न आवश्यक तत्वों का विस्तृत विवेचन करने के साथ साथ असफल होने के विभिन्न कारणों का भी विवेचन किया गया है। साथ ही यह पुस्तक आपको सफलता हेतु आवश्यक जोश, शक्ति, विश्वास एवं ऊर्जा का संचार करेगी। इस पुस्तक को पढ़कर आप में पुनः मेहनत करने की इच्छा शक्ति जागृत होगी तथा इस पुस्तक की सबसे मुख्य बात यह है कि आप इसे जितनी बार पढ़ेंगे, आप इसे उतनी ही अधिक पसंद करेंगे और आप इसे उतनी ही बार-बार पढ़ना चाहेंगे। Thank you so much. I hope you like my presentation. So now Hitesh will do his presentation.
Hitesh is there?
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Hitesh from class 10C. On behalf of Reading Week, I am going to present book talk on book The Greatest Salesman in the World. So I need to present screen. So, book talk activity on the book The Greatest Salesman in the World. Book name The Greatest Salesman in the World. Author's name O.G. Mandino. Publisher's name Bantam Books. About the book, it is a book of moral, spiritual, and ethical guidance. Transform your life and find true fulfillment with the priceless wisdom of 10 ancient scrolls relieved within. Scrolls that make you the greatest salesman in the world or succeed you are following. First, today begin a new life. Second, greet every day with love in your heart. Third, persist until you succeed. Fourth, I am nature's greatest miracle. Fifth, live the day as it is your last day. Sixth, be master of your emotions. Seventh, I will laugh at the world. Eighth, I will multiply my value 100-fold. Ninth, I will act now. 10th, pray for the guidance. So thank you very much all.
Have you all finished?
So this is my yes ma'am.
You all have done a great job. Very nice.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you ma'am.
ओके ये मैं बेटा आपको YouTube का लिंक मैं दे दूंगी आपको सबका, ठीक है। उसके बाद मैंने अकाउंट पे आपको अकाउंट नेम भी अभी मैं ग्रुप में आपको कर दूंगी, उसमें वो मैंने आपको ये लाइव रखा है फेसबुक पे, आपकी सारी चीजें लाइव थी। YouTube की जो प्रॉब्लम है, आई विल सर्च इट कि क्या प्रॉब्लम है। मुझे 24 आवर्स में उन्होंने बोला है कि एक्टिवेशन हो जाएगा। तो हम कोई नेक्स्ट एक्टिविटी जो भी हम करेंगे नेक्स्ट टाइम वो हम YouTube पे कर लेंगे, और आपको भी मैं वीडियो सेंड कर देती हूँ आपने जो भी ये परफॉर्म किया एक्टिविटी में। ओके
मैम फेसबुक का लिंक भी भेज दो।
विच बुक? मुझे ना
Okay, ma'am.